All right, today we got something new from Fosi Audio. It is the Merak portable CD player, but is it something a little bit more than portable? I don't know. Let's find out. This is what's next. Well, here it is. This is the Merak portable CD player from Fosi Audio. And just for full transparency, this product was sent to me for the purpose of review and testing. But know that the video has not been reviewed by the vendor before it was posted, and all opinions are my own. So, FosiAudio.com right here, we see the product in color. Several of the controls up front. We also have the display. I'm excited to look at this because I haven't had a new CD player in a while. Let's see, it has a flagship chipset, say that 20 times, comprehensive connectivity, CD ripping, and effortless control with a remote. And then there's some additional information down there, and then that's about it. So let's go ahead and get this opened. Hear the unheard, it says. We're going to open this up. And there is our instruction booklet, or the user manual for the Merak version 1.0. Set that off to the side. It has this foam. So it looks like we have the remote control here with the Fosi Audio logo here at the bottom. What else do we got in here? USB-C to USB-A connection. And then the player itself. And that definitely has some weight to it. And regarding the rest of the packaging, that's it. So you get the remote, the CD player, and a USB-A, USB-C connection. So let's take a look at the unit. Unsleeve the plastic there, and here it is. This is the unit itself. Again, very much a grayish silver finish on this metal body. There is the volume control. Ooh, that's nice. It's got good drag to it. On the back here are our connections. We have the ESP, or the electronic skip protection, is either on or off. Line out, USB host. You have an optical out. How cool is that? A 12-volt trigger out, and then your DC in, which is, I guess that's where this cable is going to come into play. Let's see, we have the model is just Merak. That's what it says right there, Fosi Audio. Quality Control Pass number 7. It is on there good. All right, that's off. If we raise the lid, there we go. And then now we can take off the front like that. All right, feels like the lid might be plastic. And then the inner portion of it is plastic, but the outer portion feels metal. You have your indent here, so for get your CDs out. So that's cool. And then there's your transport mechanism, and it doesn't have like that cardboard sleeve that you see on some other units. And it is shock mounted, so that's cool. All right, let me get this thing connected up to some power, and we'll take a look at the display. All right, before I plug this in, this is one long cable. So you don't have a problem with cable length with this unit. All right, with the unit plugged in, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And there you see the Fosi Audio. Screen is kind of dark. I don't know how well that's coming up on the camera. I'll zoom in even further. Am I seeing anything? Yeah, a little bit. It's pretty bright in here. But right now it says no USB connection. And then, of course, there's our regular, we have our outs. So there's line out, optical out, HP out, and then line out again. So you do have a headphone jack here. So, and if I remember correctly, this does not have, zoom out a little bit, this does not have a battery. So this isn't really designed to be a portable unit, but more like an accessory to your component system. Or maybe you have one of those record players like what I've reviewed, where you have speakers and you want to plug in or have the ability to have a CD player attached to it. This might be the way to go. Before we get further into this review, wanted to look at the user manual real quick. I was finding out some information in here. It looks like the headphone amplifier chip is a TPA 6120. in my opinion. I don't know anything about that, so I'd have to look that up. And then it also has some sort of low jitter, high precision crystal oscillator for a more stable optical output. Okay, that's cool. And the unit supports CD track ripping. Now, I thought that meant to be connected to a computer. I was completely wrong on that. And then by going to the couple pages in, it has this whole thing about how to rip CD tracks. And it looks like you just have to use a flash drive and then hit the record button. There's a record button right there. All right, for those who love specifications, here you go. There is your chipset information right at the top. We also have the headphone impedance information, the inputs and outputs, the CD formats that are supported. We also have the CDR formats that are supported. Audio formats, MP3, WAV, FLAC, AAC, APE, and WMA. And then here's some, looks like sound and output and power settings, so you can take a look at that if you want to pause that on your screen. And then again, those are the contents of the package. Well, what I'm going to do over the next day or two is actually play with this unit and then give you an honest review of the use of this product, not just showing it right out of the box. Well, good Tuesday morning. We are currently testing out the Fosi Audio Merak CD player. I have it currently connected via a 3.5 millimeter to RCA jacks on this older DAC receiver. And I'm currently listening to some jazz this morning. That's a good way to get started, right? So I'm going to be learning this as the day goes on. I definitely want to do some of that CD ripping. All right, Tuesday, late afternoon. I am actually recording. As you can see, it's flashing and recording to the USB drive on the back here. And it's going to, I'm guessing, rip each individual file from the CD. It's doing it in real time, obviously. I've been using my singing wood speakers. Well, here we are Wednesday morning, and I'm still working with the Fosi Audio Merak CD player. You can see here that I still have that USB drive in the back. I recorded some more songs from Sting, so I wanted to see what would happen if I recorded two different CDs onto the same USB. I'll show you those results in a moment. But also today I am going to finally use some headphones. These are my AKGs, and we'll just listen to those. While we're listening to the CD player, I'll hook this up to a power source and kind of use it as a portable CD player. Obviously, again, no battery is in this device. Well, here we are closing out my second day of testing this CD player. And I have to say that I'm quite impressed, both with the functionality, the display, the outputs. So I think it's time to head back down and let's go to the studio and do my final review and then final thoughts on the Merak CD player from Fosi Audio. I've been playing around with this for the last 2 days, and honestly, I've gotten back into listening to a lot of my CDs, and I've listened to my Foo Fighters. That was one of the last things I was listening to. The Beatles again. This wonderful collection from Star Trek the Motion Picture. And they all sounded great, whether I was playing them through the speakers or listening through my AKG headphones. This is a great little unit. One of the things, or a couple things about this unit, when this unit is open, the CD player does not work. So it has this kind of this auto stop, auto start feature. The opening and closing of this is very solid. I don't think it's magnetized. It just closes on its own. The volume control on the side, you get kind of the low. It's a stair step. If that makes any sense. It's nothing, and then a little bit, and then a little bit more, a little bit more. It's not linear, or at least it doesn't feel like it is. That was the only thing that I thought maybe that could have been a little bit better. As far as the MP3 ripping, it's not MP3s. What I wanted to do is show you, first off, what the quality is of these files, along with what happens when you rip one album and then you try to rip another. Let's take a look at what's on this USB stick. So there's your rip folder, and then if I go into here, it's just a series of tracks. So we'll go into list mode, and you can see that there's a track TRK1 and a TRK1-0. So the first rip was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way down. And then when I went to go rip the other CD, basically it just added this 0 at the end. I didn't do many more after that because I filled up this drive. There's only like 2 megabytes left of the 980 megabytes that's available. All right, let's look at what this track is set to. So our track is open. I'm going to go to Window, Show Movie Inspector, and all right, if you can see this, let me get this up to the screen here. It is linear PCM 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz. It sounds great. Of course, it's coming from this set of speakers, but you know what? Sounds great. Cool. However, you can play these back on the unit itself and listen to it via the headphones that way. So it does have audio playback capabilities. We showed those audio file formats that are supported on this unit. Okay, in case you're wondering, the Beatles Love, which has gapless songs, yes, this does support gapless playback. The other thing I really like about this unit itself is that it is super quiet. I'm going to take off my microphone here, and there's just nothing. A little bit of noise related to the laser, but there you go. Very quiet unit. I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the video we talked about this 12 volt trigger out. So in the user manual it does talk about the 12 volt trigger, and it supports it, can be synchronized for power on and off with other Fosi audio components. And so basically if a component is equipped with a 12 volt trigger, such as the ZA3 and ZD3, I guess it controls the power on and off. Oh, and again, there's that gapless playback mention. All right, so who is this player for? It's definitely not for mobility. It doesn't have the built-in battery. It's not really designed for that. I looked at the Amazon listing, and we're really kind of promoting like getting back to the music, listening to the album. So I think that that's what it's for. It's aimed at more the mid-range audiophile or somebody that just loves physical media. This could be great as a component stereo piece or a small component stereo piece if you don't have already a CD player. But I really think that for someone that is getting into collecting physical media, or has maybe just a small collection, and maybe you got back into vinyl, but maybe you want the CD as well, I think that would be a perfect combination here. And that's what we're going to do next. We're going to set this up, connect it to the record player from Digit Now I reviewed a couple months ago, and we're going to do an audio test with it. All right, well that test didn't go as planned. Getting some distortion from this, so I don't know if the output from here is just too powerful. Hold the phone. I realized that the output was probably too hot for this particular stereo speaker record player combo. So what I've done is I've connected it up through the headphone jack. I've kind of adjusted the volume just about maybe 4/5 of the way up. And when I do that, surprise, surprise, this sounds good. So going back to my original idea, if you have a unit just like this, or a set of powered speakers, then maybe, you know, this Merak portable CD player from Fosi Audio might actually be what you're looking for if you're wanting to get into CDs. All right, that is my look at the Merak CD player from Fosi Audio. Let's take it back to the studio for my final thoughts. I like the build quality. This is a decent unit. It sounds great. Those are some things that I definitely like about it. It's quiet. You can barely hear the mechanism run. Testing with the stereo system in my headphones, I enjoyed the music. It was great. Things that I don't like about it, if you have any sort of vision problems, it's hard to read these buttons. Thank God that it comes with a remote, because otherwise I'd be like, I can't read the thing. So the other thing that I like and don't like, I like the display, but again, it's a little small. One of the other issues that I was having with it was some audio cut out at the very beginning. It wasn't consistent, didn't happen all the time, just every so often. If I would stop the player and start it back up again, it was fine. So maybe it's a firmware issue and they'll fix it. But again, if you're looking for something that's better built system compared to, let's say, some of those other portable CD players that are out there, and you're looking for good sound, I think the Fosi Audio, this is actually not a bad unit. I look forward to playing some more CDs with it, getting a hook back up to my stereo system upstairs, and as I'm working, listen to some more jazz and soundtracks. So anyway, so that's my look at the Merak CD player, portable one from Fosi Audio. Hope you enjoyed that topic today. Well, that's all that I have. If you liked what you saw and you thought it was informative, if you could go ahead and give me a thumbs up, it'd be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. If you are interested in this unit, I will have links in the description, so just take a peek down there if you're interested in purchasing this. And also my Amazon store is also down there as well. Well, that's it for today. If you'd like to see another episode of my channel, I got one here and I got another one here. And until next time, I'll see you again for another episode of Hey, What's Next?